another misogynistic hadith. Are you ready? The Messenger of Allah said, "No woman annoys her husband, but his wife among huris of paradise, safs, they will say, 'Do not annoy him. May Allah destroy you, you stupid bitch, for he is just a temporary guest in your bedroom with you, and soon he will leave you and join us, where he's gonna
So,
have."
this is so funny as well, because this is like Muhammad imagining what these
Yeah,
virgin Huris are saying to his worldly wives. So he's actually transported himself into, this is what they would say to shut them up, and like this makes
yeah,
them want me more than,
ah,
like, it's so childish. You couldn't,
yeah.
like, it's so childish. Is as petty and jealous and thingy as Allah. Like, it's just so evident it's one and the same.
Yeah, but this particular hadith is always I to be honest, I actually don't understand. I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, but this one this is clearly classic body shaming. You know, when Muslims say that, oh, like, oh, look, we don't have racism in Islam and blah blah blah, no black skin, white skin, whatever. We don't body shame people. But look at this one. So Balugh al-Maram, book 8, hadith 54, Sahih hadith. It says, if she has something, meaning if a woman has something like a horn, karn, coming out of a vagina, then her husband has the right to divorce her or keep her. So he has a so basically what it means, that if you can't divorce a wife without a reason, so you have to give a reason. Okay, she's disobedient, she doesn't clean properly, doesn't cook properly, or whatever. You have to give her a reason. But in this case, this reason is actually acceptable. It said that if she has a horn coming out of a vagina. Now, I don't know what that means. Is he talking about a big clitoris or something? To be honest, I actually don't know. But whatever that is, isn't that body shaming? Like, if you're basically saying, look, I don't like this vagina. Or maybe it's saying that it could be an intersex person. Like, well, in that case, this is transphobia or intersex phobia, LGBTQ phobia. That if she has a little, to be honest, I don't know what that means. Do you know?
No, but whatever it is, I mean, again, here is just so evident. Like, the right to divorce, like her husband has the right to divorce her or keep her. I mean, do you know, Haris, can you tell me how many times in Islam or in the Quran or in the sources we see that a woman has the right to divorce or keep her husband because he's not sexually satisfying her or he's not,
Ah,
like, good enough?
never,
Never.
never.
And in this situation, you're just giving the man another right as well. Oh, keep her or leave her, it's up to you. You've got the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Prophet said a girl's urine should be washed away and a boy's urine should be sprinkled with water.
3 times, maybe?
Yeah, but look at the misogyny here. Yeah, like a boy's urine is apparently cleaner or less dirtier than that of a female's urine. The
Yeah,
urine
and
of
then
a
it's also
female child.
yeah, go on.
This is another one. Sunan Abi Dawud. The urine of a female should be washed, and the urine of a male child should be sprinkled over until the age of eating. So obviously, this is for baby boys and baby girls. But again, like, there's no reason behind that. And some people say, "Oh, there's E. coli in girls' urine." I was like, which is just, it's BS. Obviously, it's not true. But
Haris, yeah, on that as well. I don't know if you probably experienced this as well. You're a guy who was once Muslim, but like what I saw from like my brother and my granddad was obviously quite religious, right? So they were all the right ways, and they were obsessed in about like the way that men should sit on the toilet seat as opposed to stand, and like all of this stuff was like hyper policed. Like my brother he would be conditioned when he wasn't doing what the way my granddad told him. He would think, oh no, I didn't do it the right way. And then as he got older, I could see him caring less and less about that, because he's just like, what the hell, this is not even a big deal. But there's so much focus on like the stuff with the toilet. And what I found really interesting with Muhammad is that if you look at when he it's so funny. When he was walking past, I'm sure you have the hadith, he was walking past this Jewish woman and she says to him, may Allah protect you from the torment in the grave. And he had never considered torment in
Yeah.
the grave before that. Okay. So the guy, poor guy, was shook. He was so scared. He was trembling there. And he's like to her, what do you mean? And basically, he went back home to Aisha, yeah, as he does. And like, she saw him being really stressed out and like really scared, to the point where one day she was asking him, she's like, so is there torment in the grave? And initially he had said no. And after this encounter with the Jewish woman, he was like, yes, Aisha, like we should all be so scared of the torment in the grave. And he like sat in this position and like thinking about it for a while. You can tell when Aisha's narrating it as well, like Muhammad was really troubled by the thought. And again, because he's acting in this way now, also a very clever tactic, because now obviously you're picking up Zoroastrian bits, you're picking up pagan bits, you're picking up Judaism, you're picking up Gnostic Christianity. All these elements are coming together to form Islam. But Muhammad's thinking, oh, these people aren't really like following everything I'm doing, and some of them are kind of, disintegrating. I'm losing my stronghold. What can I do to scare them forever, so they follow like good sheep? And then he's like, the torment in the grave. So when they saw Muhammad being in this state and being like, the biggest thing one should fear is like what happens in our grave and blah, blah, blah. Like, mirroring his reaction to that. And then this whole thing became a big deal. And if you look at the hadiths after that, when Muhammad, if you just search urine, Haris, in sunnah.com, Muhammad is so afraid. Urine is one of the things he's most scared about, because it's one of the things that leads to your torture in the grave, and one of the most reasons for people being in hell as well. So he's got this real insane, like he's stressed out when it comes to urine, and urine being on his body and washed off enough. And so you can understand like the hygiene levels that were at play in this.
Yeah, he was
anyway.
Yeah, this is a very famous hadith. It says the Messenger of Allah said most of the torment of the grave is because of urine. There's another one where, remember when he was just walking past the grave and all of a sudden he goes, do you hear this? Let me find that hadith. Do you hear this? People are like, what? He goes, I can hear there are graves here, and these people are getting tormented within in their graves.
And why, Haris? Tell us why. Why they're getting tormented, please.
Why? Because one of these guys used to stand up and pee.
and the other one did something, but it's not so bad. He would backbite. Muhammad knew their sins. He knew the reasons they were there.
Yeah. He goes, let me have a listen. Oh yeah. What happened to you? Oh, you used to stand up and pee. Oh, right. What about the other dude? Oh, really? You used to backbite? He used to backbite. So, guys, don't backbite. And don't freaking stand up and pee.
He goes into detail, Horace. He's so concerned about this, right? He'll literally say to them, he'll be like, just if it's scraped off this way, like make sure it's cleansed from your body this way. Like he's like going into the dynamics of urine droplets being left on you.
But this is the hypocrisy of Muhammad, because he used to make up these as he went along. The Messenger of Allah came to the garbage dump of some people and he urinated on it standing up.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, because the guy. Who's gonna? Are you gonna tell the Prophet that you can't do it?
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, do you not remember what a Jewish woman said to you? May Allah protect you from the fear of the grave. And he'd be like, urine, yes, sit down immediately. Like I told all my good sheep to do.
This is why I say he used to make up. This is the same story mentioned somewhere else as well. And have a look at this. Sunan Nasa'i, obviously. This is Sunan Ibn Majah. The Messenger of Allah forbade facing the Qibla while urinating. But I saw him 1 year before he died facing the Qibla while urinating. So he forbade others from facing the Qibla while urinating, but he did it himself. His own men are ratting him out.
So funny.
That's our dearly beloved, clever Prophet Muhammad. Yeah.
I love that we had a bit of a roasting session today, Haris, because this is, as I said, I have to go to that Milad next week. So it is like that time when it's Muhammad's birthday and everyone's out here singing all these songs and praising his sweat and his footsteps. So it's good to see that.
I got something for his sweat as well. Then do you want something else? Do you want something funny?
This is my antidote to next week, so thank you for this.
Well, there you go. So this is Sahih Muslim 2497. It's a long hadith, but let's get to the gist of it. Yeah. So where should I start? Okay, so I was in the company of Allah's messenger as he had been sitting in Jirana, place between Mecca and Medina, and Bilal was also there. And that day came to Allah's apostle, a desert Arab, and he said, Muhammad, fulfill your promise that you made with me. Allah's messenger said to him, accept glad tidings. Thereupon the desert Arab said, You shower glad tidings upon me very much. Then Allah's messenger turned towards Abu Musa and Bilal, seemingly in a state of annoyance, he said, Verily, he has rejected glad tidings, but you too should accept them. So, they were like, No, we don't want your glad tidings. Bugger off. And wait till you see what those glad tidings are. We said, Allah's messenger, we have readily accepted them. Then Allah's messenger called for a cup of water and washed his hands in that and face too, not a full stop, and put some saliva in it.
Right.
And then said, drink out of it. Drink my freaking saliva. You've accepted that. You've come for the glad tidings. Hey, here's the glad tidings. Drink it. Drink out of it and pour it over your faces and over your chests and gladden yourself.
Ew, man.
Nuria, would you have done it?
Hell to the no. Are you mad?
Now there's a funny part.
Smear myself with Muhammad's bodily fluids. Why is glad tidings to him always bodily fluid related? No one wants to drink your saliva. But again, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes he really had to do these kind of bold, quote unquote, moves to ensure like loyalty and see who was actually on his side or not. Because like even with any dictator or something, if you're in this kind of totalitarian regime, you have to make sure that the people around you and your right hand men aren't turning on you. So even with Omar and stuff, he was a bit, he did fear him. That's why he allowed 3 of Omar's things to slip into the thing and be like, yeah, God mandated that. Is this fine, Omar? We'll have your say. But he had to do these things sometimes to just guarantee a bit more of his following. I think that's why Islam goes so hard on like the fear tactics and the punishment.
I asked you, would you do this? Would you get these glad tidings? And you were like, gross. But no, listen to this. So those guys actually drank Prophet's saliva and they washed it all over their body. They put it all over their body. But
lather it on yourself like it's some divine moisture.
So there was the same woman, the woman who was asked to, breastfeed this dude, Salama. She was hiding behind a curtain. She was also there when this thing was happening. So she goes, thereupon Salama called from behind the veil and she said, oh, spare some water in your vessel for your mother also.
Oh, lady, what are you smoking? No.
And they also gave some water which had been spared for her. So she also got a bit of it.
Oh. Gosh. What it's like, Harrison, when you see those people who like really gush over celebrities or whatever, and they're like, oh, if I met my idol, like I shook hands with him, I'm never going to wash my hand again. It's like that same level of reverence.
There's another one.
With your saliva, I want some. Give me some of that.
There's another one. Oh, Allah's messenger, I have slaughtered a she animal of ours, and we have a ground of sour barley, which was blah, 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 blah. So please come, you and another person along with you. The Prophet raised his voice and said, oh, people of Trench, Jabir has prepared a meal. So let us go. Allah's messenger said to me, don't put down your earthenware meat pot or bake your dough till I come. So I came to my house, and Allah's messenger too came proceeding before the people. So when I came to my wife, she said, may Allah do so and so to you. I said, I have told the Prophet of what you said. Then she brought out to him, i.e. the Prophet, the dough, and he spat in it and invoked for Allah's blessing in it.
Why does he think spitting is gonna, what's his obsession?
Like he spat in this dough and he said, now it's blessed too. Now you can have some fun.
Nasty. Imagine eating that bread. Oh, I'd rather starve.
This is Sahih Bukhari 4102. Okay, we're not making it up, people. Sahih Bukhari 4102.
I wish we were making it up, people. I wish Sadly, we're not, and that's why me and Horace are here doing what we do. If we were making this up, we'd be gone a long time ago.
No, but
we
it
couldn't
was,
even make stuff up this good.
but it
to
wasn't
be
just the
honest.
dough. No, but it wasn't just the dough. Then he proceeded towards our earthenware meat pot and
Oh,
spat
not the
in the
stew as well. Please leave the meat alone. Oh.
and invoked for Allah's blessing. Then he said to my wife, "Call a lady baker." And then he spat on her face as well. No, I'm joking.
What? Oh, was that Horace? I was like, that's no.
Then he said, "Bring that she camel," and spat on it too. Then he said, "Oh, bring that fork over here." So spat in that too.
You know
Then
what?
the
Just take
prophet
me to the highest building and let me just spit everywhere. Shoot my spit out. Bless the world. Get a pistol, man, and just shoot your saliva everywhere. Shoot.
There were 1,000 who took their meals, and by Allah, they all ate, and blah blah blah. This is just, by Allah, like it's just ridiculous,
Redonkulous. Gosh.
But Prophet, one last funny hadith, and we'll just wrap it up.
Okay.
One last
Okay.
rank hadith.
Okay.
Whenever Allah's apostle went to answer the call of nature, isn't that amazing? Like his sweat smelled great, his spit had Allah's blessing, but he still had to poop though.
Yeah.
Whenever Allah's
demon fought on his garments. Ew.
Yeah, I went to answer the call. Yeah, and Aisha used to scrape it off with her nails. Whenever Allah used to go, Allah's messenger used to go to poop. I, along with another boy from us, used to go behind him with a tumbler full of water. There's another one. I, along with another boy, used to carry a tumbler full of water for cleaning the private parts and a short spear or stick. So Prophet Muhammad had his own boys. And maybe these are the kind of boys that you're talking about. You'll get them in heaven. Like those boys who are going to serve you.
I think so. That's my hunch. I do think there was something there, because he liked these boys. What are these boys? They were servants, essentially carrying that thingy of water for him. They were essentially helping him to. So they are servants, and they're young. There's always that given, and then Islamically in the heaven they just say beautiful as well. I don't know why they add that. And they try and say that, oh, you women will be served by them. But Brother Ben makes a great point here. Where was it? So when Islam gets to the point of being able to withstand ridicule enough to the point where mine and Horace and everyone who speaks about this neck isn't on the line for just like having fun like we were today, when Islam gets to that point, I think some brave individual, anyone, so whoever's brave enough, I will definitely be happy to help give my thoughts, but someone should make a comedy film on the hadith exactly like Life of Brian, because what the hadith is to Islam is what Life of Brian is to Christianity. Mark my words.
This is going to be even better.
Really unpleasant to watch. These people remind me of the gullible idiots in Life of Brian. You know why we can laugh at these, like swallowing saliva and peeing standing up and a rock stealing Moses's clothes, and we can laugh about this because it's literally that. It's gullible, weird shenanigans from that part of history, and it gives you a glimpse into what they were doing and thinking and talking about and worried about and scared of, and where they were pooping and peeing. Like, it really is. So I wait for the day that I'm able to go onto Netflix and search for a film which is a complete parody of the hadith. And I swear, you guys think Life of Brian is good? If we start looking for the funniest, weirdest material from the hadith to compile into a film, oh my God, we're going to have a field day. Life of Brian would be nothing compared to what comes out of Islam. So if there's anybody listening who has any film production, anything, and you've got that edge for comedy, let's do it. Not now. I don't think we're in that position. I think you're still very much screwed. Look what happened to Salman Rushdie even recently. But when Islam gets to that point, when these guys can get over their hurt feelings a bit more and just chill out, then we should do this.
Well, one more thing. There was this hilarious khutbah by a guy, a sermon. It said, the Messenger of Allah said, when any one of you urinates, let him squeeze his penis 3 times to remove the remaining urine drops.
Oh my God, sorry. I'm so sorry, but that is exactly verbatim how the elders in my family would pass it down to my brother to what to do. Oh my God, I knew there was a shake 3 times or something, squeeze or shake or something.
They say I don't know which movie it was. I think it was a Rob Schneider movie where he goes, no, what was the movie when? Yeah, it was a Rob Schneider movie when these girls wake up in a boy's body. Well, I think it was
Freaky Friday?
Mean Girls, maybe. I
Freaky
don't know. Maybe.
Friday. Freaky Friday.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
No,
when
no,
she
no.
swapped with her mum, right?
No. It's a Rob Schneider movie. But anyway, so he
Oh.
goes, so this girl wakes up in a boy's body, and it happens to be Rob Schneider, and she's like, "Oh, what is this thing?" Like, and then she goes to a public toilet to pee, and then she doesn't know how to aim. So this guy says, "Hey, aim," and then
Oh, hot chick.
yeah, hot chick. That's it, hot chick. Yeah. So he aim, and then it's like aiming it, and then he goes, "Remember, if you shake it more than once, then you're playing with it."
Well, thankfully for Muslim boys, Zakir Naik said it's okay to masturbate now.
Oh yeah, he did. No, but I'm just saying, like, imagine that. Like, you have to squeeze it 3 times. Why 3 times? Why not 2 or 4? Maybe you're
Yeah.
done after 2 times, or maybe you need to do it 4 times. So it's just quite
Well,
hilarious.
we know their obsession with the number 3. Muhammad definitely had a thing for odd numbers and 3 particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Muhammad, he had to, like, guarantee that his followers were gonna like follow his words to the last, because again there were so many times, and we saw what happened when Muhammad died. It was chaos. It was absolute chaos. Like, they all turned on him. They couldn't care less about his dead body for 3 days. And what I also find really interesting is that they say the Islamic narrative is that Muhammad was illiterate, so he was unlettered, right? Like, he couldn't read or write. And that thing starts off with Angel Gabriel coming up to him in the cave, and the very first words of Islam are read, Iqra. And Muhammad's like, I don't know how to read. And then Gabriel's like, read. And then Muhammad's like, I don't know how to read. And then Gabriel's like, read. And then Muhammad's like, suddenly able to, say the shahada or whatever. But so again, Angel Gabriel had to come and, like, say, it's a weird choice of word to read. What is he reading if he's not even, like, there's nothing physical there? So that was strange. But then on his deathbed, he actually asks for what's in the hadith anyway. So Sunni Muslims would believe this, but I think a lot of Shia Muslims believe this too, because this is where the narrative, changes. They think Aisha helped poison him as well, which I don't think is entirely not plausible. But apparently in some of these hadith, I'm not sure if Haris, when he's back, we could maybe pull it up. He is apparently said to have asked for a pen to write something down as his, like, final thing before he was dying, and telling people, like, what to follow and who to follow. And as expected, like, they never got him that pen or paper, and so that we'd never know what it is that Muhammad actually wanted. And so that's why this whole divide between Sunnis and Shias come out, because after his death, like, the split was so tangible. But yeah, I find it interesting. Why was he asking for a pen and something to write if he actually couldn't read or write? And then there's obviously the argument that he could at least read and write, because that's what was kind of the norm back then. If you were dealing and trading and meeting all these people, like robbing caravans, going to these new lands, you would have to, at the very least, like, there were Ethiopian scriptures and manuscripts and things like that that were all already written down. And even, like, Khadija and Waraka bin Nawfal, I think his name was, he was like a Gnostic, like, form of Christian, and he had a lot of things that were already written down, and he would know stories, and so I'm not sure, but I found that really interesting, that the hadiths that Islam says he's unlettered, but then also says he wanted to write something down.
Guys, there's a folder. Like in my description, the first line is, here's the folder. Here's a link to my folder. Like, all these hadiths are up on my folder. Google folder, Google Drive, and then you can they're all cataloged. And this one is Muhammad's urine and saliva, urine and sweat, funny hadiths, blah blah blah. So there's all kinds of comedy gold just sitting there. Imagine some comedian gets a hold of this. Imagine an Adam Sandler movie.
They should. I'm trying to listen. And this is such a long shot, okay? But this is like one of my dreams, guys. So please, if you've been following me for a while now and you've been watching some of my videos or seeing my tweets, you know that I am a massive fan of like Ricky Gervais and his work and like some of his stand-ups when he just opens the Bible and like takes it to shreds, tears it to shreds. It's so funny. And he does it in such a hard-hitting way, right? And I'm like, wow, I'm just not at that, like, Islam isn't at that level yet. They're going to get cancelled by the lefties straight away. So that's why even now if people are like, oh, he's gone straight for the Bible, they will suck it up no matter what, because they have to. Christianity has been dampened down to that, have that effect. But I just put it out there because even Ricky Gervais, he's so into animal rights. And he talks about it quite a lot. And then the hadith came up about how Muhammad treats dogs, and he basically ordered so many of them to be killed and stuff. So I just went on a whim and I was like, Twitter, do your thing. Because if I was to be able to contact Ricky Gervais and show him some of the things that Islam says about dogs or animals or whatever, racism.
No, just show him this funny folder.
He would
show him my funny folder.
He would have so much material for a stand-up, and do you know how powerful that would be? I know he knows all religions are wrong, but I know he probably knows Islam is dark for the terrorism aspect that it can fuel. But I don't think he knows these little things like how, like the stuff we were laughing about today. Because imagine putting this into the hands of a mind like Ricky, who's created The Office and stuff, what he could do with the hadith. So I just said to Twitter, do your thing, please. It was such a shot in the dark, but I'm like, that tweet's going to be there. Whoever will retweet it, even if in like 5 years Ricky comes across it, I would love for the world to see. Let all those dog-loving Western Muslims who keep those little chihuahuas and shih tzus see what Muhammad said about their dogs.
Yeah.
It says straight away as well, if you don't keep a dog just for agricultural or agrarian purposes to guard, then you lose bonus brownie points from heaven. You lose qirat, sawab, like good deeds. Yours.
Let's just end this with this one. So this guy was like, what the hell? It was said to Salman, your prophet teaches you everything, even about excrements? And this idiot replied, yes, he has forbidden us to face the Qibla at the time of eating or urinating, and cleansing with right hand, and cleansing with less than 3 stones, or cleansing with dung or bone. And the guy, Salman Al-Farsi, was like, I really didn't want to know this. I was just marveling at the fact that it tells you about everything, even how to poop.
And Horace, it sounds like something from the Flintstones, man. I had a bone, a rock. What is this? It's like literally Flintstones.
Yeah, there was this funny hadith. So when Prophet Muhammad went to his business, and then these servant boys, they were around him, and Prophet said, "Hey, bring me 3 stones." So he brought him 2 stones and a dung, which he mistook a dung for a rock. So Prophet Muhammad was about to wipe his butt. I was like, "Oh, what is this?"
It's not like even getting the wrong end of the stick; it's getting the wrong stick completely.
He was getting. I can't wipe my tongue with horse dung. dung and dung. Anyway, so I think it's
dung with dung. Yeah.
Anyway, I think this is it.
You know what? So jokes. No, well, let's acknowledge that super chat. If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone.